On the Syrian coast, they told of their goddess plunging into the sea, because they saw the moon descend into the western waters. But the Cretans, who beheld her rise above the eastern horizon of sea, fabled of a foam-born goddess. The Mexican Coxcox, i.e. fish god, was either a solar or lunar deity. He was fish god of our flesh, to give him his name in full. He somewhat resembled the Noah of sacred writ, for the Mexican fable related that in a great time of flood, when the earth was covered with water, he rescued himself in a cypress trunk and peopled the world with wise and intelligent beings. It is curious how widely spread is the belief in fish women. The prevalence of tales of mermaids among Celtic populations indicates these water nymphs as having been originally deities of these peoples, and I cannot but believe that the circular mirror they are usually represented as holding is a reminiscence of the moon disk. The North American Indians relate that they were conducted from northern Asia by a man-fish. Once upon a time, in the season of opening buds, the people of our nation were much terrified at seeing a strange creature, much resembling a man, riding upon the waves. He had upon his head long green hair, much resembling the coarse weeds which the mighty storms scatter along the margin of the strand. Upon his face, which was shaped like that of a porpoise, he had a beard of the same color. But if our people were frightened at seeing a man who could live in the water like a fish or a duck, how much more were they frightened when they saw that from his breast down he was actually a fish, or rather two fishes, for each of his legs was a whole and distinct fish. And there he would sit for hours singing to the wondering ears of the Indians the beautiful things he saw in the depths of the ocean, always closing his strange stories with these words, "Follow me and see what I will show you." For a great many suns they dared not venture upon the water, but when they grew hungry, they at last put to sea, and following the man-fish who kept close to the boat, reached the American coast. One day an Ottawa chief, while sitting by the water's side, beheld a beautiful woman rise from the flood, her face exquisitely lovely, her eyes blue, her teeth white, and her locks floating over her shoulders. From her waist downwards she was fish, or rather two fishes. She entreated the warrior to permit her to live on earth, as she desired to win a human soul, which could only be acquired by union with a mortal. He consented and took her to his house, where she was to him as a daughter. Some years after, an Adirondack youth beheld and loved her. He took her to wife, and she obtained that which she had desired, a human soul.